Hey loves! Today I wanted to show you guys how to make a little pocket-sized notebook for your pocket-sized traveler's notebook. I have been doing this the entire time. I've been using traveler's notebooks just because it's so easy and I always have all the supplies on hand. And I also like that I can customize these to whatever I like to use them for. Like with, let me show you guys right quick. This one I made, and it's just basically my list keeper. It just keeps like all my to-do lists and stuff like that. This little book right here that I made, this is just a journaling book, and all of these I just use with plain printer paper. I mean, nothing fancy. This book is my calendar, my planner book right here, and this is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this little guy. And then back here, this is just kind of like a little doodling notebook. But I make all these the same exact way, and it's super easy. I'm going to kind of do one with you guys. I'm not going to go through all the steps just because it would take such a long time. But this is what the finished product looks like. And this is my newest one. This is going to be my October, November, December planner. So I have enough pages in there to fill this one up, and then I also print these adorable little calendars all from the Blooming Homestead, and I'll link her blog below, and they're so cute. So I just glue them in there to have my monthly view. Super cute. Okay, so let's do this. What you're going to need paper. I just use plain printer paper because it's thin and it doesn't get as bulky if you use heavier paper. So I just use plain old printer paper. You're going to need a cutter, but you can use scissors if you want to do that. And then I always like to have a corner punch just to make the corners cuter. And then you can use scrapbook paper for the cover. You don't have to have a cover. And I always use, these are the Target Dollar Spot file folders, and I just love these because they're shiny and they're kind of like cardstock, but they just feel good. So that's the cover I always use. So we'll use one of those on the one I'm about to make with you guys. Okay, so first things first, since this is a pocket size traveler's notebook, they I think the size are like 3.5 by 5 maybe, I want to say. I can't remember. We'll have to measure it. But anyway, so I always take my piece of paper and I fold it in half like this and just kind of match up the corners. And my books never come out completely perfect. I mean, the pages are kind of wonky, but that's totally okay. And then I fold it again this way, like that. So you're left with a piece of paper that has four pages. So down and over, and it's kind of like a little book. So what we're going to do now is we want to measure. We want to measure this. Let's see if I can get this. I have a little marker right here. It's 3.5. You want to measure that. So I always put the spine of this little mini book that I made, because you want to cut off this part, and then this part is the part that is folded on top, and then these side parts right here are open. So you want to leave the spine like it is connected, and then measure 3.5, and then cut off all this extra. So then you have that. And then I never really measure the tops. I know that's so bad, but I kind of just maybe cut off just a tiny bit. I kind of just go by this line right here on my paper cutter, so I don't really know the exact measurements, but probably maybe a few centimeters. But it's always so really hard to do this part. This is the part that I hate the most, because my paper trimmer never seems to want to cut this. Okay, so you're basically left with 4 sheets like that. So you want to cut out a bunch of these. You just basically, count how many days you want, or if you just want to do a book of 20, do that. It just depends on what you're using this for. So on this one, I made sure that I had enough days of the week for 3 months and a few extra pages for notes in that one. So this guy is pretty thick. And then I also, after I get done doing all the pages, I corner punch the edges. And you don't have to do this. I didn't do it in these books right here. But, you know, it's just whatever you feel like doing. This time I kind of just wanted to do the corners rounded because it does look a lot nicer. I feel like I'm going to straighten this one up just a little bit. So, after you do that, you'll have a whole stack of pages like this one. Now I don't even know how many pages this is. It looks pretty thick. So, then you're going to want to do the cover. And I'm going to do this pretty yellow cover. I think this is so pretty. I love that color. You're going to want to measure this a little bit bigger than your pages, just so you'll have a little bit of room to hang off. So I'm going to just kind of measure using this book because it's just a lot easier. And then I'm going to just mark the little spots right there. Like, I definitely don't have any sort of rhyme or reason when I do these things. I just kind of just go for it. And then I'm going to cut this off, line it up, and then cut this off like this. Trying to get it as straight as I can. It's kind of hard though. Let's see if that fits. I might have cut it too small. We'll see. See, I feel like that's just a little bit too short. So let's do one more. Let's try this one. Let's trim off. Let's do about this far because we can always cut more off if we want to. I need to always remember that because I always try to cut so close and then I don't have enough room, so you always want to try to cut off less and then you can cut off more whenever you need to. So let's see this one. Yeah, that definitely fits. Now we need to cut off just a little bit of the top. I'm going to kind of make a little mark with my fingernail. Like I said, I don't have any rhyme or reason. I hate measuring things. Is that terrible? I just really hate that. So I kind of just eyeball it, but then you see where that gets you. You get a mess up. So, let's see. I actually think this one can come off just a little bit more, actually. So we'll just do a little bit more. Like that. Let's see. Perfect. This is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and round these corners right quick of this book. Like that. Okay, so then after you cut out your cover, you're going to want to get a stapler, and you can actually just put this straight into the elastic in your traveler's notebook. You don't have to connect them. You can also sew these together or punch holes in each side and string some ribbon through it to connect them. It's just whatever you really want to do. But I just find that the stapler method is just the easiest. So I just straighten out my book, make sure it's pretty straight, as straight as I can get it. Like you can totally see that doesn't match up at all, but it's totally okay. So I'm going to just get it as straight as I can, fold it over, get my stapler, And this stapler actually punches pretty far in the middle. Is it not doing it right now? Doesn't seem like it's wanting to. Nope, do I have it too big? Is that the problem? Yeah, I'm going to cut just a little bit more off. Because usually I can center it right in the middle of that stapler. So let's see. Let's re-punch these corners. Get in there. Let's see what this one does now. Yeah, see, it usually goes right in the middle on that seam. I can fit it because it's pretty long, the stapler. So I'm going to just punch it. Make sure I'm straight here. Punch it down. And then I'm going to do one more right here. And then one more right here. There we go. So that's the spine. And this is the middle. Look at that page. That page didn't get that straight, did it? But I mean, like I said, that is totally fine with me. I might just trim this page off just a hair, so it doesn't stick out. Where's my little scissors? Now I don't have my scissors. So let me see. And because this book I'm making these books a lot thicker, the pages do stick out just a little bit. So if you don't want that to, if you don't want the pages to do that, definitely make it a little bit skinnier than 3.5. Maybe, I don't even know what's half of 3.5, half of a half. I have no idea. Maybe a 4, 3 1/4. Does that make sense? I don't know. Math was never my forte, measurements. I'm actually going to cut a little bit more off right here. But this is basically the gist of how to make your own little notebook. And I mean, I think they're super cute. These are super cute to give as gifts too. This one, I don't know, turned out a lot better than that one. Probably because I didn't have a camera in my face. This one is definitely going to be my October, November, December. And you know what? I'm definitely going to use this one too. I'm going to just cut this off a little bit when I'm not on the camera. Trim that down just a hair. And this will be my January, February, and March book. So I already have so many books. And I'll just show you guys how this one looks. This one right here, I did my August and September, and I didn't have enough to do October, so I'm going to try to do 3 months from now on. But this was just my first book, and I did not even count the pages or anything because I had no idea what I was doing. But I do a month on one page, and then I do a whole day on one page. So I have like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's today. And I just love how this looks because I have so much room to write stuff, and I have everything already planned out. I haven't finished decorating, prepping these pages, but I definitely will. But anyways, definitely make your own little notebooks if you have the time. It was super fast. I mean, literally this book last night took me probably 20 minutes tops. And if you do, please tag me on Instagram or social media at Unicorn Planner. I'd love to see what you guys do. Alright guys, bye!